What's the most cringe-worthy way someone has tried to show you they were quirky? I had a coworker in a retail environment who was always going on to us about how special he was and how he saw the world differently than the rest of us slobs because he was a writer. Customer with lazy eye comes up to the register. Coworker to customer, "Hey, I see you've got a lazy eye. I notice things like that because I'm a writer." Super awkward checkout ensued. "I notice things like that because I'm a writer." I couldn't help but read that in Ralph Wiggum's voice. My uncles are both published writers. One of them is the most humble guy you could ever meet. The other is so fricking egotistical. I mean, he's clever and very smart, but he makes everything about himself. He can't stand to be wrong. He practically had a fit when my 15-year-old brother beat him in a pull-up contest. And he's like in his late 50s. He doesn't wear glasses despite really needing them because he doesn't want to look old. Regularly almost crashes and puts his children at real risk because of his vanity. I knew a girl in high school who used to diagnose herself with mental illness based on, to the best of my knowledge, Year 11 psychology class and online quizzes. She would also try to one-up anyone who had a legitimate, medically diagnosed mental illness, despite having, in her words, major depression, anxiety, OCD, bulimia, Munchausen's, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and antisocial personality disorder. She refused point-blank to ever see a doctor and have any one of these diagnoses confirmed or treated. If you're gonna fake mental illness, you might as well do something unique like Morgellons, narcolepsy, Alice in Wonderland syndrome, or if you were really committed, trichotillomania. Lame. I knew a girl who fakes sneezes when she walks outside. She found out only 25% of people sneeze when they see bright sunlight, so she wanted to be part of a minority. I have no idea why she does this, but her fake sneeze is this loud, rough, manly-sounding thing. It's comical how different it is to her real sneeze. Wait, sun sneezes are a minority? I had no idea. It's a genetic quirk. I didn't realize it was weird growing up because my entire family did it, except my mom. I was confused when I found out other kids don't have to sneeze when it was sunny outside. We had a girl that would have an uncontrollably loud hiccup at the most inappropriate times. Moment of silence during the Memorial Day thing, concerts, you name it. Anytime there was silence, she just had to get everyone to look at her. My hiccups end with a burp and I hate them. A subteacher in 3rd grade really ripped on me for them. I mean, this just sounds like the oral version of what my butt seems to want to do at the most inopportune and public moments, so the inappropriate hiccups has my sympathy. A guy I went to high school with was convinced he was a vampire, and once he actually bit my friend during class because he couldn't help himself. A person bit me once, at a party. It was unexpected. I just reflexively hit her in the face while her teeth were still on me. Maybe I tried to push her off me, maybe I tried to hit her so she let go. I'm honestly not sure, but I do know I didn't think about it first. She got a bloody nose. I had bite marks on my shoulder. She said, "What the frick?" I said, "What the frick to you? What are you doing?" She said, "You frickin' hit me. What's the matter with you?" I said, "Me? You fricking bit me. The frick is the matter with you?" She said it was cute when she does stuff like that and that I was some kind of woman-hitting psycho. I was asked to leave the party and most definitely did. 15 years later, still one of the strangest experiences of my life. She brought a fricking ukulele everywhere. At first you'd think, wow, a cute girl with a ukulele, I bet she's really cool, but you'd be falling into her trap. She barely knew 2 chords and was a complete moron. I knew a lady like this where in high school people would be like, "Sweet, can you play me a song?" causing her to snap, "No," at them and have people just be confused. I had a hipster neighbor who would strum his ukulele and smoke his pipe outside while his kids rode bikes. Oh, that's so wholesome. Just a dude chilling while looking out for his kids. This girl I know constantly talks up how much she loves nerdy things like no other girl is into. Nerdy things like Game of Thrones, Star Wars, and Lord of the Rings. Yep, very unpopular entertainment no other girl is into. Her name was Trinity. She said she had multiple personalities, 3 to be exact. She was lying. I asked her parents, they had no clue what I was talking about. He'd wear a paper Krispy Kreme sailor hat every day. I saw bullies rip his hat to shreds and he'd just reach into his roller backpack and pull out another one. Never saw him without it. What a frickin' power move though. The fact that he pulled one out of his backpack is big wang energy. The fact that his backpack rolled is even bigger wang energy. Friend of mine went through a super proud to be Italian phase about the time Sopranos aired. He refused to eat his mum's cooking one night because it was too Irish. There were many other things he'd do to try and convey a mob connection. He was part Irish and eventually became a cop. What kind of Italian refuses his mama's cooking? What kind of Italian survives refusing his mama's cooking? A non-Italian. This one guy would put blue Powerade in a Windex bottle and spend the day taking it out of his backpack and squirting it in his mouth. High school. There were plenty of other things, but this one stands out. Isn't that a scene from Scrubs? I kind of remember the janitor doing that to freak out JD in one episode. Had a class with a guy that wanted people to think he was a nerd. I guess to him, nerds wear large glasses. Only problem was he didn't need glasses. He started showing up to class wearing 3D glasses from the movie theater with the lenses popped out. My first thought was, why would someone wear cardstock paper glasses with the red and blue cellophane ripped out? It took me reading your comment to realize or remember that's not what they give out anymore. This guy in my high school would wear cat ears and carry a stuffed bunny around. I think he was trying to look like an anime character or something. Anyway, the most cringeworthy part, he would constantly meow in class. Not like meow, but more like yeah, like an anime cat or whatever. My oldest kid is on the spectrum, and I've had to monitor and restrict his interest in anime because when he watched too much of it, he would start having inappropriate and stylized reactions that were super off-putting. Like in anime, apparently when a girl they like approaches, they sometimes do a freeze frame type of the character freaking out that has their arms and legs all stretched out in midair, making a horrible noise. Now, picture a 13-year-old leaping up and hollering in Dollarama because a pretty girl came into the aisle. Sorry, kiddo, humans don't actually do that, you're cut off again. You should let him binge Arrested Development and see what he comes up with. Yes, let him learn from Tobias, Buster, and George Michael Maharis how to behave around women. Look, if I can watch a real kid who is any one of those 3 characters from Arrested Development, my life will be that bit better. And it can't be that different to my friends and I just constantly quoting it to each other all the time. Advise an anime club in my high school, and I fricking hate these kids. I got a call from the front office one day. I was told to get my butt down there and stop whatever was going on in front of the office. I run over there and see one of the girls, ears and tail on, is crawling around on the ground rubbing on people's legs. I told her to get up and she hissed at me. I literally had to write her up for hissing at me. Same group made up their own Naruto village. Many asked what I did to deserve this. When it began 11 years ago, it was a group of kids who needed a place to be. They had a hard time making friends and getting a hold of anime was hard. I started it to give them a place to belong and hopefully teach them about the line between fan and obnoxious. Hundreds of kids have passed through it and had a better time in high school for it. Then there are those who don't want friendship, they just want attention, at any price. I love how this happened and the solution was, I don't know, call whoever advises the anime club, they'll know what to do. Damn it, we've got cat girls in the lobby, call the weeb wrangler. Imagine birthing a kid and raising it for 15 years for it to amount to that. Teenagers are inherently dumb and weird. What's worse is that there was a guy that came into the nightclub I worked in with a trench coat, cat ear headband, tail, and cat eye or red contact lenses. At 25 plus years old, it's time to outgrow that phrase. I'm all for self-expression, but there's a line between it and ostracizing yourself from society. The receptionist at the sign-in desk I do my clinical for school at is normal while back at work, but once she gets home, she literally changes into her goth style. I mean the super pale foundation, black lipstick, crazy eyeliner and eyebrows, piercings, she still wears trip pants occasionally, crazy tutus, black fingerless gloves, and she has a freaking pet crow named Malice and 3 black cats. She's into witch or Wiccan crystals, and she believes that they have healing powers, if that makes sense. And she takes her acceptable for work wig off and rocks a purple faux hawk, her actual hair. I didn't believe her until she showed me pictures. I thought she was hazing me because I was the new kid. I was bewildered. That's how you be your weird self without shame and without letting it ruin your social or professional life. The kind of people who proudly say they are a butthole. It annoys me so much. A girl I used to hang out occasionally liked to pretend she was some kind of bad biker B-word. She talked about riding every chance she got. She showed people pictures and dressed the part. I'd always hit her up when I was going riding to see if she wanted to come along. It gets old being the only woman around. She'd always have an excuse and claimed not to ride if it had rained that week and so on and so forth. Would always give me heck about getting a real bike. I ride a CRB 1000 RR, and she had an 883 Sportster. She was once complaining to me that she only got her baby out 3 times that year. Which, you base your entire identity on something you do 3 times a year? Ah, gotcha, one of those Harley people. There's 2 types of Harley owners. The ones that are like, hell yeah, motorcycles, and the ones that are like, Harleys are the only motorcycle. Saw this kid in a class who would always try to walk like Captain Jack Sparrow. Anybody who wears those fricking "normal people scare me" shirts. Jeez. Normal people scare me, people scare me. About 10 years ago, around 2009 or 2010 or so, I'm into some pretty underground obscure music. Oh really? That's cool. What kind of bands? Korn, Avenged, Sevenfold, Metallica. What? I'm convinced some teenagers go out of their way to feel persecuted so they can find an identity to call their own. Because good gosh, that's almost as funny as the one girl who seriously, unironically claimed that the Offspring and Green Day red jumpsuit apparatus were hardcore punk. More so annoying than cringeworthy, but people who pretend to have a mental illness because they think it makes them unique. Those Funko Pops and not being perfectly lined up triggers my OCD so hard. Nope, you like things to be orderly, totally normal. Having to check the light switch 20 times to the level that you end up being late for things, that's more what OCD is. Yeah, I never really knew what OCD was really until someone told me about it. He said he always has to hit the ground twice when he picks up something he dropped and pick up a pen 3 times on crap. Sucks. Oh crap, probably everything I did in high school. I've just repressed the whole 4 years. Same. I embarrassingly strove to be a manic pixie dream girl. Ugh. If you can't look back on the things you did when you were younger and cringe, then you haven't matured. Had a girl in my high school who legitimately believed she was an anime girl and was just born in the wrong body. She would listen to these subliminal "become an anime girl" YouTube videos, and everyone's name in san, wore a schoolgirl outfit every day, I went to a public school, and would sometimes say random Japanese words or phrases because her brain wasn't fully accumulated to America. Needless to say, she was a fully white girl from the Midwest. I love these because the people who act like this have absolutely no idea how Japan really is. Anyone else noticing the overrepresentation of anime kids in this topic? Apparently it's a way of making yourself very memorable, to say the least. Actually, all the ones I knew in school were fine. I thought I was hot stuff because I didn't like reading. I kinda regret that now. My daughter, a bright, wonderful, hilarious mum of 2 and wife, has the best friend that goes around bragging to people how she never reads anything more challenging than a copy of US Magazine. She finds at the hairdresser. The friend is 42, and frankly, we're less than thrilled they've been friends for 20 plus years. Before I get judgy comments, there is a ton of other crap I'm leaving out. She's any parent's basic definition of a bad influence. The no reading thing would be 50% easier to swallow if the friend didn't insist on injecting her opinion on a wide variety of world affairs, politics, entertainment, etc. To paint a picture, I'm 100% not making this up. Her life's ambition is to become a for real housewife. She'll marry anyone and move anywhere to get on reality TV. She actually went to Miami from Northern California on vacation to specifically go to a club that was depicted in the Real Wives of Miami Beach episode just to go to that club, and was turned away at the door, and had the unmitigated gall to do the "Do you know who I am?" at the doorman. I'm acquainted with someone who will pack her cat in a carrier, drive to the local university, no small feat considering the parking situation and 40,000 students, and push the cat around the quad in an antique baby carriage. All the while she'll make exasperated social media posts about how rude people are to stare at her or talk to her. As far as I know, she doesn't walk the cat around her own quiet residential area. A little unrelated, but there was this old guy that would walk his dog around on campus last year. Big loping golden retriever that was so friendly and sweet. The dog's owner was also really kind. I got to talking to him one day, and he revealed he likes walking on campus because the kids there tend to miss their own dogs back at home, and he likes causing a little happiness in his daily routine. Switched schools this year, so I haven't seen them. I miss you, Bella. People that repost those cringy, "I'm not a B-word, I'm just honest, wink," posts multiple times a day to Facebook while reaffirming the post in the text comment above, saying how much the post is, "Yep, oh, it's so me." Cringe. My eyes change color in the sunlight. Also, my eyes change color with the seasons. Wow, Who knew different types of lighting based on the weather could affect what color things are seen as? I hate to be mean, but there was this girl in a couple of my classes in college who told the professors that she wanted to be called Oracle instead of her real name. You could see the cringe in the professor's eyes and feel the awkward tension all over. About once every quarter, this happens to me. I'm not like everybody else. Followed directly by being exactly like everyone else. It's 2005 Hot Topic all over again. I adopted an RP accent in high school. I already had a bit of a posh voice from going to elocution lessons, but I went full 19th century British aristocrat sometimes. I went to school in regional Australia too. Also, I bought a pocket watch to look posh. I do actually like pocket watches, but I knew why I did it. Girls who say they only hang out with boys because it's less drama. Read, no one puts up with my crap anymore and I don't play well with others. The scene. German class. The teacher was someone who escaped the DDR, East Germany, when she was young. The actor, an obese guy with a neckbeard, skinny jeans, and pink shoes who said, "Oh, you're from East Germany? I'm a communist too." I'm so glad he dropped the class. The dysfunctional veteran gear. I hate that crap so much, typically worn by a guy that maybe got through basic before they were separated or kicked out for underage drinking. I'll see guys in my classes wearing it, always talking about crap that has nothing to do with the class I'm taking. Meanwhile, I'm just thinking, I get it, dude, now shut the frick up and let the professor get back to the lesson plan. I know someone that is a habitual funeral goer. Anytime someone remotely affiliated with them passes, especially in the town we live in, they are all over social media proclaiming how devastated they are and how close they were to the person. More annoying is repeating the same story over and over about their one interaction with them, or whatever. Like tries to get super close with the family at the time and then trails off after the hype from the death is over. People who wear cute but psycho shirts. At least it's one way to know who to avoid, I guess. I was talking to a classmate on the bus and she hauled out her sketchbook to show me her original character, which was a bear that vomits corpses. She related all of this to me in a very loud and carrying voice. Tim, who in 2007 dressed like he was hosting a Nickelodeon game show in 1994, was always around. He thought it was shtick, but he would flip your words around on you. The Yankees are your team, huh? What do you, own the Yankees? Did not stop. Finally, someone asked if he was 7 years old and knew how to talk like an adult. Tim then disappeared faster than Drax at the end of Infinity War. 12 years, and I haven't seen him since. Bumper stickers. Lots and lots of bumper stickers. If I see more than 2 to 3 on a car, like, okay, you support a political candidate and love your Doberman, cool, I just assume the person driving it is insufferable. If they're that insistent on sharing their opinions in public to strangers, imagine how they are privately. I once saw a car with so many bumper stickers it covered the entire trunk and back window. Not sure how that's not illegal, but either way, I was embarrassed for them. I went to college with a girl whose car, front, hood, sides, roof and back were all bumper stickers. There were so many you almost couldn't tell the car was silver. There were like 13 different versions of this coexist sticker, then a ton for Planned Parenthood, lots of anti-Trump stuff, lots of Black Lives Matter stickers, Pride stickers, etc. Which, hey, cool if you support or don't support stuff. But fricking hell, she was the worst. Just at everything. She was insufferable. If you didn't agree with every single thing she did or said, it was a personal attack on her, and she had to tell everyone you were a right-wing extremist, or a stalker, or a misogynist, etc. She mooched homework answers from everyone, and if you wouldn't help her, suddenly you victimized her somehow. She couldn't hold a single conversation without making it political or announcing she was a vegan, or she hated X, Y, or Z. She was the most annoying person I've ever met. Sometimes I see that car in town and I just cringe. I knew a girl who wanted to be a manic pixie dream girl type. After some exposure to her, I realized that meant she was flaky, had erratic behavior, and displayed some traits that implied she was mentally ill. I'm so happy she's out of my life. When people say they only listen to The Greatest Showman, or that the only type of music they like is The Greatest Showman. 1, that's not something to brag about, and 2, that doesn't make you special. A lot of people like that movie. Everyone who has now started using "One Life to Live" or this, #OL2L, as their new YOLO life motto. Divorce your husband? OL2L. Fricked the hot Brazilian dude at work who's engaged? OL2L. Going to take a crap? OL2L. Put a pic of the coffee you're drinking in a very hipster area on Instagram? Hashtag OL2L. Don't use a hashtag or weird life motto to be a different kind of butthole. You'll always be a butthole. My ex was a one-upper and always had to play the devil's advocate or bring attention to himself. He was a self-proclaimed anarchist. He carried several knives on him and only drank coffee. Claimed smoking helped his ADHD. Invalidated everything I said when I just needed to vent about something. Always making fun of people, rudely in public, and yelled at me for being embarrassed. Refused to get a job because he didn't want to work for the man. Was absolutely convinced the FBI would break into our house and haul us off to camps. What he won't tell you, I worked in a crappy retail job to pay for our rent. I did the grocery shopping and cooking. He used food stamps and he used all of his school money on bug-out bag gear. Oh, and the real reason he didn't drive was because his license was suspended, not because he didn't want to drive. 24-year-old me was a fricking idiot. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications. Put the playlist on in the background to finish listening to all the stories, linked at the top of the description. And if you like Am I the Genius, give Am I the Jerk a shot, linked in the description too. Either way, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.